My name is Jason Camelio. I'm from the Office of Global Initiatives at Berklee College of Music, and I am here with my colleagues, Amanda Goldthorpe, our Associate Director, and Cristela Sotomayor, our Team Assistant, Berklee alumna. And we are super excited to host this session. We're very, very appreciative and privileged to be working with our partners at the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation and bringing to you some incredible artists, students, award recipients to talk with you about the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation Scholarship Program. This session is being recorded, and we are going to make it available online, hopefully by tomorrow afternoon. We know that scheduling is difficult. You may have friends or students, if you're teachers, or people that that are really interested in these scholarship programs. And this session is going to be jam-packed with really good information. So getting access to the recording may be really, really helpful, and you can share the link out to your friends and colleagues and students afterwards. We're going to have Zoom rules apply. During the session, for the beginning part, as we're sharing information with you, please go ahead and keep yourselves muted. But we'd love to see your faces, so please, you can keep your cameras on if you'd like. And when we get to the Q&A section, you can add questions to the chat, the Zoom chat, and we'll be grabbing those questions and feeding those to our panelists so they can respond. But you're also welcome to raise your Zoom hand, and we'll select you and bring you on screen, and you can talk directly with our guests here today. This is a great opportunity to learn about the programs, to get connected into this amazing opportunity that the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation has been making available. And we know that in this group today, there's tons of talent. So we're really looking forward to all of you having successful work with your music, and hopefully with your opportunities in getting access to the scholarships. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to my dear friend and colleague. She's a Berklee alumna. She's an incredible flutist, educator. She's done work all around the world for the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation, and we are very, very fortunate to be working with her, and she's going to take things away for us. Please join me in welcoming Miss Nannette Velez. Nannette, go ahead.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Gracias a todos por acompañarnos en esta noche. We're so excited to give all this information to you. As Jason said, there's so much talent, and I hopefully we would have so many scholarships to help all of you, but we have some, so I'm so happy that you connected and we can help you apply. So the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation was established by the Latin Recording Academy, by the Latin Grammys in 2014, to promote international awareness and appreciation of the significant contributions of Latin music around the world. We provide scholarships, grants, and music education programs all around the world. To date, we have awarded $6.5 million in scholarships and grants to preserve and research Latin music, and musical instrument donation to high schools and middle schools in need to enhance and help their music education programs. So this year, the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation has 44 scholarships that we're awarding, and some of our amazing scholarship students are here that we'll introduce in a couple of minutes: Clara, Luis, and Xavier, and Ruvit. And they can tell you all about their experience of how to apply and what they're doing now. So we have 44 scholarships. We have one Prodigy scholarship that is co-sponsored by the amazing Sophia Carson. It's called the Sophia Carson Scholarship. She has been an ambassador of the foundation for some years now, and this year she's the co-sponsor of the Prodigy Scholarship that has a value of up to $200,000 to study 4 years at Berklee College of Music, starting this coming fall. We have also 3 gifted tuition scholarships of up to $100,000 for 4 years to study at the Music University College, Conservatory, Music Institution, anywhere around the world. And we also have 40 tuition assistance scholarships of up to $10,000 each to study also in any music college or university around the world. And that can be used for 2 semesters, starting fall 2022 and spring 2023. I'm saying, I think I can say it in Spanish. Is that okay for some students? I'm going to say really fast the scholarships that we have in Spanish. So, gracias a todos por conectarse, ¿no? La Fundación Cultural Latin Grammy damos becas, subvenciones y programas educativos alrededor del mundo. Hemos donado $6.5 millones en becas y subvenciones y donaciones a instrumentos musicales, a escuelas secundarias y middle schools alrededor del mundo. Este año la fundación tiene 44 becas. Primero es la beca Prodigio, que tiene un valor máximo de hasta $200,000 y tiene el nombre de Sofía Carson, la beca Sofía Carson. Ella ha sido un gran apoyo para la fundación durante todos estos años y este año está copatrocinando esta beca. También tenemos 3 becas, que es la beca Talento para Matrícula, de hasta $100,000 para estudiar 4 años. La beca Sofía Carson es para estudiar 4 años en Berklee College of Music, pero la beca Talento para Matrícula de hasta $100,000 es para cualquier universidad alrededor del mundo. Y tenemos 40 becas asistencia para matrícula de un valor máximo de $10,000 para estudiar 2 semestres. En otoño 2022 y en primavera 2023. It's very important to, when you apply to the scholarship, that you're admitted to the university of your choice, or in the case of the Sophia Carson Scholarship, to the you're admitted to Berklee College of Music, and you have to upload your admissions letter. And I will give you more information about the guidelines, how to apply, and how to do your video after we introduce our fellow scholarship recipients. Back to you, Jason.
Thank you, Nannette. So we thought for this session, in addition to having Nannette here to share specific details about these awards, that it'd be really great to bring in some of the recipients of the scholarships to also talk about the process, that they had for going through and applying for these awards. And so what I'd like to do is just briefly introduce these artists and award recipients so that, you can get to know them a little bit. And then, they're going to be available during the session to answer questions for you. And Ruvit, I hope you're okay. I hope the power comes back on. Her lights just went on. There she goes. Very nice spotlight. So we'll start with you actually kicking off, and maybe Nannette, you and I can trade off. I'll start with Ruvit. She's a violinist from Venezuela. She grew up in the El Sistema program, which is world renowned, as we all know, and amazing work from that program. It gave her the opportunity to work with the National Children's Orchestra, the youth orchestra in her state. She's a soloist. She's gone to camps, and she's even done tours in Europe. She's now studying, she's in her senior year at Stetson University, and luckily she was able to get out of her rehearsal in time to come and join us this evening. She was just running from rehearsal, where she's the concert master at the Stetson Symphony Orchestra and the Stetson Chamber Orchestra. She's been an outstanding music award recipient in 2020 and 2021. And, she's doing fantastic work performing with, renowned artists and conductors like Gustavo Dudamel and others. And she's won the Tuition Assistance Scholarship from the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation in 2020 and 2021. And again, later on in the session, you'll be hearing from her, and she'll be able to share more about her experience with the scholarship programs. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I hope I can last with the power off. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened.
No, it's no worries. We appreciate you being here. Nannette, you want to introduce our next guest?
Sure, I'm gonna go with Luis Anselmi, who I've known for a couple of years. Luis Anselmi is from Venezuela too. He's currently studying at Humber College in Canada. He's an amazing player and a musician, composer, arranger, video maker, PowerPoint artist. You know, he has many talents, and he has won. What years did you won? I don't know, like three or 4 years. Three. The tuition assistance scholarship. Welcome, Luis Anselmi.
Thank you, Nannette. Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Excellent. Our next artist is a singer, producer for Buenos Aires. She started her career at the Catholic University there in 2018, and she's been studying film scoring, and then she decided to get into jazz performance and songwriting. So she's covering a wide swath of creativity in music. She's now in New York, where she's in her first semester in jazz and contemporary music at the New School in vocal performance. She's won the Gifted Tuition Scholarship from the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation in 2021. And, she's into all kinds of music, pop, rock, Latin music, and folkloric music. And she's really wanting to be a broad creative artist. Please join us in welcoming Miss Clara Diaz. Clara, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be talking to you guys. Thank you.
Nannette, you want to announce our final guest?
Sure, Xavier Cintrón is from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. He won the Juanes Scholarship last year in 2021. He's an amazing cuatro puertorriqueño player. It's an instrument that is folkloric from Puerto Rico, and it's so amazing to see our instrument, around the world in Berklee, playing jazz, playing bebop. It's such amazing to see Xavier play. Xavier also has played with many great artists from Puerto Rico. He recently played in Chicago with Danny Rivera. Actually, Xavier met my dad because my dad was playing with Danny Rivera in Chicago, and they met and they played together. That was so cool. Welcome, Xavier, and this is his first year at Berklee. Please welcome Xavier.
Thank you so much for having me in this occasion.
So Nannette, to jump in, would it be good for you to kind of just walk through the different the scholarship application process, and just let folks that are connecting to the session get a little bit more insight of what your needs are in order for them to be eligible for your awards?
So to be eligible to apply to our scholarships, you have to be admitted to the university, conservatory, music department of your choice, except for the Prodigy Scholarship, the Sophia Carson Scholarship. You have to be admitted to Berklee, and you have to be admitted to start in fall 2022. So the same process to apply is for those three scholarships. You can apply to the three of them. I think, yeah. Thank you, Kevin. My colleague Kevin just sent you the link to the guidelines where you have more information to complete the application. So you can go read our guidelines first, and then you go to SurveyMonkey. Kevin is going to send the link a couple of minutes to complete the application. You just create a username and password, and you complete the application. It's a very user-friendly program, SurveyMonkey. And again, if you want to apply to the three scholarships, you have to complete 3 separate applications. One that says Sophia Carson, one that says gifted, and one that says tuition assistance scholarship. And both scholarships work for Berklee. For Berklee graduate programs, you can apply for the tuition assistance scholarship, because the Prodigy Scholarship and the gifted tuition scholarship is to study a bachelor's degree. Okay? And basically, you just complete your information. Where did you study in high school? You upload your admissions letter. You complete how many years have you been playing, just some basic knowledge information we ask. And then we ask for 2, or it can be 3 video auditions. 2 of those video auditions can be of any live music genre that you that you can record. We ask that both video auditions are no more than 15 minutes together, because we have a lot of auditions to look at. We have a special committee, a scholarship committee of musicians and educators and professionals all around the world. Those are the people who evaluate those auditions. Okay, the foundation does not evaluate. We just handle the applications. Okay, let me see what else. Las becas pueden ser usadas para maestría. For a master's degree, para una maestría, you can apply for the tuition assistance scholarship. Again, the gifted tuition and Prodigy are for bachelor's degree. The most important thing to apply to a scholarship is that you love and you have a passion for Latin music. Okay? Let me see what else I can say. Oh, there's two, as Luis Anselmi is going to tell you more about it later, but you also have to answer 2 essay questions in the application. Are the $100,000 Berklee online? You can apply for Berklee Online or other programs. You can apply for the tuition assistance scholarship. Let me see what else is going on.
Yeah.
Oh, the video auditions don't have to be like a special or amazing production. The most important thing is that you clearly identify yourself in the video, that the committee can see where you are and who is playing, okay? And they can be edited, they can be live, whichever you prefer. The age limit to apply is 17 to 25 years old. And somebody's saying hi to Anselmi.
Yes. I wonder, Louise, at this point, Nannette, what kind of blew everybody's mind the last time that we did this was that, Louise came prepared with heavy ammunition and information. And I wonder if we maybe turn it over to Louise. And Louise, do you want to, share your insights and your approach, being a multiple year Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation scholarship recipient? You want to bring up this information? I think, this might be really helpful for all of the students and teachers and parents that have joined us today.
Of course, Jason. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm just gonna do it right now. I'm gonna repeat some of the things that Nannette just mentioned, but it really helps me to have a visual representation. So I made this PowerPoint that I'm gonna share with everybody. And we can go through it and I'll explain my experience. I hope everybody can see the PowerPoint right now. So if that's okay, I'm just gonna start.
It looks great.
Yeah. So basically where I want to start is telling my story. And I think that the first thing that you need to know is that you need to have a plan. And before I continue, all of this information I'm going to share with you after the presentation. So don't worry about taking notes. You're going to have access to it. So first thing, you need to have a plan. And on 2016, my plan was to go to Berklee, and I was very focused. I did my audition and, I was ready to do it. But at the end, I didn't have enough of a scholarship to go to Berklee and to pay for my expenses. So I really couldn't do it that year. And from that experience, I learned that instead of just having one plan, we should have multiple, because you don't know if one thing doesn't work, you have other things to go to. So instead of having a plan, you need to have plan A, plan B, infinite plans up until plan H. So from that experience that I had, the next following years, I was still in Venezuela, and I started playing a lot with my band, Song 3, that right now it's called Callao. But we were playing a lot, gigging a lot. I was getting a lot of experience, and also saving some money so I could actually go study. And I finally was able to go to Canada and spend some time in Prince Edward Island in Holland College, which is a global partner, Berklee Global Partner School. And it was a great opportunity for me to expand my horizons and actually play with a lot of great musicians here in Canada. And finally, I was still saving money, accumulating experience, and I was able to come to Humber College in Toronto, Canada in 2019. So this was thanks to the help of the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation. I was awarded the tuition assistant scholarship, and I was able to do my first year and then reapply and get the second year, the third year, and I'm already going into my fourth year here at Humber. And so these are some pictures that I want to share with you of performances that I had with students, and also Hilario Duran, one of the famous Cuban pianists here in Toronto. I also had the opportunity to play with Ricardo Cepeda from Venezuela, very famous, and as well have the opportunity to be in Humber's music studio, which is honestly one of the best places that I've been to in terms of equipment and recording, and also like microphones and everything that you will want to know about production. There was the year that we were all stuck in our homes, so most of the recording happened remotely, and there was a lot of collaboration with other people. And lately, I've been spending more time in Humber Studio as part of my third and fourth year of the program, and also doing some activities outside with arts organizations to collaborate with kids and deliver some classes in that manner. I'm just showing you all of this quickly to tell you that it's very exciting to be in a different country and expand your horizons, learning from all these different cultures. And the second point that I want to make is that whenever you're ready to submit your applications to the scholarships and to go on this journey, you have to be yourself. I believe that that's one of the most important things. And in my case, being myself means bringing my culture, my background, Venezuelan music, with creativity on how to deliver it to different people, and just smiling, and that's just me having a good time. And regarding being myself, I want to talk a little bit about making the videos for the application of the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation. Over these years, I've submitted over 18 videos. And I'm going to say at the beginning, one of my worries was, do I have the best microphone to record this? Do I have the professional camera to do this? But honestly, you don't need much. From the 18 plus videos that I've submitted to the Latin Grammys, 9 of them were recorded with a professional microphone that is not even the most expensive, but a little bit more expensive, a little bit more professional. 8 of them I recorded with an iPhone's microphone. That was it. And 1 of them, I was in a rush. I didn't have my phone, and I recorded it with the microphone of earbuds, of earphones. And then regarding video, only 9 of them were with professional cameras that I don't even own. I borrow it from a friend. So don't be afraid to ask for help of whoever is around you. And then 9 others I recorded with the same iPhone that I used to record the audio. So you can see it's like 50-50. And honestly, to submit these videos to the Latin Grammy scholarships, you don't need professional equipment. Just create with what you have. And some of the tips that I can give you to have the best result is regarding the content. Pick the music that you like. You have to show passion for Latin music. That's the point of the scholarships, but you don't have to select complex music that maybe you're not familiar with. Just select what you like, what you love, what you grew up listening to. Presentation, make sure the audio is clear, that there's good lighting, and that you have a nice image presented to the camera. This is an anecdote that I want to tell you. When I was making this specific video, I had my iPhone hidden behind this plant so I could record the audio from my Quattro. And then I had my mom holding a lamp on the other side of the room so that there will be better lighting. Just work with what you have. And finally, some video tips. Make it interesting, whatever that means for you creatively. Always identify yourself. Whoever watches the video needs to know, oh, that's you. And then you can add at least a fade in and a fade out at the start and at the end of the video, and maybe put some introductions and credits. so that people know who you are and what were your roles in the video itself. Challenge yourself creatively. Here are some of the things, some key words that throughout the years I've used to challenge myself. So I will challenge myself in the arrangement of the composition or the cover, in the instrumentation, in composing, editing. Am I doing a live performance in front of the camera, or am I recording overdubs and then creating a final video? Am I telling a story? Am I singing a song, or what's the idea behind the video that I'm filming? Am I by myself or with a group? How do I highlight myself from the group? And then, you know, just smile in front of the camera. Sometimes we forget, and it's very important. And just dance. Sometimes that also helps to have a nice product, a nice video. So yeah, some of the things that I've done in the past as well is recording myself multiple times in the same frame. So I'm doubling myself. You can see me 5 times on this video, and I'm just having fun. And also, you know, maybe my main instrument is the Venezuelan cuatro and the piano, but for one of the videos, I challenged myself by making an a cappella version of Sin Voluntad de Gilberto Santa Rosa. So that's, you know, ways that you can challenge yourself. My last tip for all of you is to just do it. I know that at the beginning we're with so many worries in our head that how will I achieve this, but we will only learn by doing it. And as you can see, I tried to do it in 2016 when I was planning to go to Berklee, but it didn't work out. So I just kept doing it until I got the result that I wanted. Just as a reminder of what we just talked, there's 3 scholarships that you can apply to. And I suggest that you apply to all of them, so just so that you can go through the process and learn something that maybe will help you in the future as well. And then this is a nice video that I'll share the link with you at the end of the presentation by Jack Conte that is called Work to Publish. And he questions, how do people finish so many things? Art is never finished, it's only abandoned. So you have to know the limit on when you're trying to work on the specific details, but maybe it's already ready for release. You're already ready to apply for the scholarship and to go for it. And one of the things that Jack Conte talks in his video is about the world is made of funnels. The more you throw at the world, the more applications you do, the more chances you're going to have to receive something positive in the end. So as an example, I made this up. College applications. Let's think of it as a funnel. So you apply to college A, college B, college C. You apply to 8 colleges. And from those 8, only 5 accepted you. And from those 5, you move to the next round of interviews. You move to 3 of them. Finally, 2 of them offered you a scholarship, and only 1 of them grants you a visa to go to that country. So you see, instead of applying to just 1 college, the way I did it when I just applied to Berklee, you can apply to a lot of them, and then you'll get better chances. The same happens with the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation scholarships. You should apply to all of them, and you should submit the 3 required videos. You can, I'm gonna mention this right now, you can take the 3 same videos and submit them to each of the different scholarships. But you can also make specific videos for the 3 different scholarships, and now you're submitting 9 videos. But then you talk to a friend and you tell him, hey, I wanna be on your video playing guitar. So now you suddenly appear on your friend's video, and you're, for the eyes of the Latin GRAMMY Foundation, they are gonna see you 12 times on 12 different videos. And from those 12, the jury or the panel approves 7 of them. And then there's a final round where there's 4 of your videos. And finally, they accept your submission with the 3 videos that you submitted, and you get one of the scholarships. Now, this is not how it works. This is just my example of how the world is made of funnels. And you gotta remember that you will only be considered for your submission and not necessarily for the submission of your friends if you appear playing guitar on their video or something like that. Things you needed yesterday. And don't worry, don't stress out. There's still time to apply for the scholarships. But definitely you need minimum 2 audition videos and a third optional that is an original composition. Do it. That informs so much about yourself. And it's very important to showcase that to the world. So I say, do it. Do your original composition. Then all of these other requirements, Nannette talked about them previously, and you will find them all in the Latin GRAMMY Foundation website. So letters of recommendation, admission to your college, tuition costs, things like that. And finally, and I want to highlight this moment, you gotta fill the application form online. And this application, it's very friendly, it's very easy, but it can take some time, specifically on the second page and the 5th page, where you're gonna have to type some short answer questions and a long essay question. And so this is an example of what you're gonna see on the second page. There's three sections that you gotta write at least, like a short answer. And then on the 5th page, you're gonna find 2 long essay questions. The first one is, who is your favorite Latin musician and how has they influenced your continue to study music? And the next one is, what is your professional goal and what did you choose to study music? I cannot stress enough how important this part of the application is, because if the videos are very important, the moment where you can type and express yourself in words is also very valuable to the foundation. So keep this in mind, because it might take some time. So that's all that I had to share with you. I also have a list of resources for the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation, links and contact information. Also, I have links to all of the schools that me and my friends today in this panel are studying at right now. And I also have some resources that might help you. A video editing software that I use, and it's free. It's called DaVinci Resolve 17, and it's amazing. There's a lot of video tutorials on YouTube that can help you make your own video. The same with an audio editing software that it's free, and I recommend if you don't have one. And the YouTube link that I talked about of Jack Conte Work to Publish, that it's very encouraging, and I recommend you watch it. Finally, you can connect with me if you want to chat, if you have any other questions. This is my social media and my email. And you are seeing a QR code right now on the screen. If you scan it, you're going to be able to download this presentation and keep all the information. Also, you can reach me on Instagram and I will share it with you. I hope it helps the people here and apply. We're waiting for your application.
Bravo, Anselmi. Thank you so much. I think you pretty much covered everything. Thank you so much. As you can see, the letters of recommendation, some people are asking, they can be preferably from your music teacher, or if you don't have a music teacher, you're taught by yourself, then it can be any other teacher or any other musician that you have played with. Let me see. I think I saw another question. So Luis didn't submit 18 videos at the same time. It's just that he did 3 videos for the Prodigy, 3 for Gifted, 3 for tuition assistance, and over the years, he submitted more. Let me see what other questions.
Can the letters be, the recommendation letters, obviously, they can be in Spanish, yes?
They can be in Spanish, English, or Portuguese.
Right.
And also the application is available in Spanish, English, and Portuguese. Everything, the guidelines, everything on the website is 3 languages.
Nannette, there was a question earlier about if students need to have any formal musical education and training to apply, or if they can apply if they're self-taught and have not studied formally.
Yes, they can apply if they're self-taught. We have a couple of students that have one that had been self-taught. And if you don't have if you play piano, you don't have a piano teacher, then any other teacher, any other musician that you've played with. Oh, Ruvit, I think you have a great point there. If you want to talk a little bit about your video auditions.
Well, I'm a violin performance major and I'm majoring most of the part in classical music, but I'm Latin and I also play Latin music. So I emailed the foundation and I asked them if I was allowed to submit one of the videos to do classical music. So that's what I did. So I remember that you have to submit one in like a slow tempo and then a faster tempo. So I just depending of the classical video that I had, I just recorded a Latin video or vice versa. So that's what I did. And I remember my last application, I'm not a composition major or anything, but I like making covers for my Instagram, and that's something that I do for fun and I just enjoy doing it. And I did a cover of Bad Bunny's song with the violin and keyboard, and yes, and Bad Bunny is singing with me. and I just use it as my third video. So that's another way that you can show your talent and with your instrument and with Latin music as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of Latin American, Spain, Portuguese, from Portugal, composers like classical and Baroque. So you can also pick any of those. We have other scholarship winners that play cello and play classical music, and they've also won. There is no BPM specifically for the velocity of the songs, for the tempo. We just wanted them to be different, one slower than the other, one moderate or slow, and one faster, but no specific BPM.
I mean, that's actually a really interesting artistic choice, Luisa. So you need to figure that out with your submission, you know, and figure out how fast is fast and how slow is slow for you musically.
Yeah. And what Ruvit did was also very cool because she showed the many different styles that she can play. She played classical music, she played reggaeton, you know, that's a big range. And that also, they called the attention of the committee and they really liked it. So we one or several songs in the video respecting the limit time. So it's 2 video auditions. You can play one piece and a second piece, or some people do a medley, or and you can play 2 or 3 songs in one of the videos. You know, you can be as creative as you want. The original composition, if you already played Latin music and you showed your passion for Latin music in the other videos, then your original composition can be of any genre that you prefer. I don't know, Xavier, if you want to talk about a little bit about your audition, using a folkloric instrument from your island.
Yeah, of course. I remember when I was doing my research to apply to another scholarships. I remember that I found in the internet the Latin GRAMMY Cultural Foundation website, and I just read the guidelines, and quickly I started to make the preparations. I mean, the music, the arrangement, and the musician that will was accompanying the recording. So I did a samba, a medley by Haroldo Lobo y Luis Bonfa. That was the faster tempo, fast song. And another one was a Son Montuno by Eduardo Martín y Walfido Domínguez, Sones y Flores. And then I started with writing a composition that was my first composition, dedicated to my grandmother. First, I record the music and in a home studio, and the Sones y Flores, I remember that I recorded in my house. The guitar and the cuatro and the percussion was recorded in the home studio, and the composition I recorded in a more professional studio. But I say this because, as Luis Anselmi said, you don't need to be very professional. Obviously, you need to be, but you don't need to go to a professional recording studio.
Full production recording studio.
Yeah, and spend a lot of money. What you need to do is your best And as Luis Anselmi said, be yourself, be honest, and you will get it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, me as Puerto Rican cuatro player, that Puerto Rican cuatro is the national instrument of Puerto Rico, is my like to play only folk music of Puerto Rico, like seis, aguinaldo, and it's called like the instrument only for Christmas, and it's very grand because you can play anything of music, any genre, style, classical music, rock, jazz, bebop, pop, anything what you want. And me, I want to demonstrate the versatility of the instrument, and that I what I did.
Thank you, Xavier. I want to ask Clara also some questions, but I'm going to answer some questions here. The Prodigy Scholarship, the Sophia Carson Scholarship, covers tuition and covers housing at Berklee. Okay? It's the only scholarship that we have that also covers housing. Let me see. Does the video have to represent our country? If you want your video, your music, what you play can represent your country. If you like, you don't have to. We just want to see your passion, you know, for Latin music of any country. Is there for other scholarship renewed every 2 years? So this Sophia Carson Scholarship and the Gifted Tuition Scholarship is it goes for 4 years, for 8 semesters of study. In order to continue every year with your scholarship, you have to maintain a 3.5 GPA at your college or university. That's very important. And that's how you renew your scholarship every year. The Tuition Assistance Scholarship, it's only for 2 semesters, for 1 year of study. So if you want to continue using it, you have to apply again, because it's only for two semesters. Clara, if you can tell us a little bit about your experience recording your audition as a singer.
Of course. Well, I guess there's plenty of singers here, right? Well, I mean, I've been through it. It's great. It's worth it. And I think the best advice I can think of would be to choose tunes you feel comfortable with, that you can express what you want to express, and to lead your tune. You know what I mean? Because as singers, we often we let the instrumentalist lead us, and that's not cool for an application for a scholarship. You have to lead. You have to show you can lead. You have the knowledge for that, and you don't have to know music or theory music to lead. You just have to be present to hear and be focused. That's it. And also, try not to impress or show skills. Don't choose a song that's way too difficult for an application. I mean, you have to show your love, your passion with this. And you might get too anxious if you choose a song that's difficult or something, and that's not helpful. Also, it's important to keep in mind the contrast. I mean, there were a few questions about that. I think I chose different rhythms, different languages. As singers, try to be focused on the language. I mean, that's a great point. I mean, we have to show our passion for Latin music, and you can express that with different emotions, different rhythms, different languages. There's plenty of material you can work off. And you will have more chances to move the juries as well. So yeah, I remember I selected, I mean, my major is in jazz, so I tried to balance my interested, so I mixed everything into arrangements. Like, I chose jazz arrangements for folklore music. One was Punta de Areia from Milton Nascimento, an arrangement made by Esperanza Spalding, who's a bass player and singer that I love. And then I did La Oración del Remanso. That's a folklore song by Farner, compositor argentino, Argentinian writer, songwriter, and I did my own composition as well. That was recorded in Switzerland with a group of jazz that I love. So yes, I do agree with Luis. He said that you should do the original song. That will help you a lot, because it's a great advice. You don't lose anything. I mean, also a very important tip: play with someone you like to play with, and that's super important, because if you express comfort, that will help you communicate what you want the judges to see from you. So just be wise. Be wise with that. Don't try to put the best musicians you know. Play with someone you feel comfortable with. And it doesn't have to be the greatest musician in the world. Just don't worry. You'll be fine. I mean, just feel it in some way. And be original in your own way. Like tiny little things. I mean, I didn't record it with a pro studio. I recorded with an iPhone, and I don't remember. There was like a Shure SM58, I guess. And I did the production, the mixing. I was learning, so don't worry. It'll be fine. I remember another tip I have is because I usually don't schedule my times correctly, and I remember I rushed the few nights before the deadline was closed. So try to organize yourself. Try to do it with time. Try to be calm about it, and yeah, you will be fine. You will be happy after that, and it's worth it, even if you get it or not. I mean, it's worth it, the process, because you can do it again, and it doesn't matter which one you get, but eventually it comes from. So well, thank you.
That's great, Clara. I have a
Thank you.
interesting question for all of you. Is did you only record it and send immediately in what you recorded? Or did you actually go back and make some aesthetic changes? Some, you weren't happy with it and you decided, I'm going to go and do this again, or did you do a lot of rehearsing and then record, everything you rehearsed, and that was, you did a couple of takes and you picked the best one? Any of you have an idea to offer up, different approaches that you might have taken for recording a video? Because it's a tough decision to make. Do you do the plan and do a couple of takes and pick the best one, or do you give yourself a few days to do different recordings and decide which way to go?
No, I remember I did. I rehearsed a few days earlier.
Mhm.
But the day of the recording, I was at my house, at my place. I set everything, tried to be free the rest of the day, and do like takes in different parts of the day, because I recorded with my boyfriend, so we were together, we were hanging, it was fine, and we were chilling, so we tried to keep it less stressful possible, so
Yeah.
we can express something better.
Yeah, it sounds like also for all of you, this was a really fun creative process. You all learned something in the process. You learned something new, a new skill, something about production, about organizing yourself musically. Is that also the case? Does anybody have some thoughts on that? Go ahead, Luis.
I totally agree. Everything that I know about video editing was me spending nights on YouTube tutorials to try to make the video that I wanted for the audition. And every year I learn a little bit more and a little bit more. And then it also helps me to apply to other programs like summer festivals or other applications of other schools. And I do have to admit that I'm that person that does a lot of takes and another take and another take. And then when I'm finished, I take that take and I show it to my close friends and close family, and they tell me something and I'm like, okay. And then I go back and do another and another until I feel like, okay, it's 5 a.m, I'm tired. This is don't do it last minute. Give yourself some time so that you can like actually rest and actually have the mental capacity to analyze what you're doing. So give yourself some time and don't try to do it all in one day. Organize yourself like, this is the day that I do the cuatro. This is the day that I do the vocals. This is the day that I do the video and things like that. It's going to help you.
Well, it's interesting because all of our guests here that are on the session who are musicians and all of you and, you know, all of us who have done recordings know that it's a process. And ladies and gentlemen, you have a month and 1 day, almost a month. So tomorrow will be the 10th of March, and Nannette just put the deadline notice in there that it is April 10th this year at midnight. So
midnight EST. Please be careful with the time zones.
Yes. So you know, it's something where you do have plenty of time, and all of you who've been working on your music for so many years, you probably have many songs that you enjoy performing. And now it's just a matter of organizing things and putting together plan A through infinity, right, Luis? So that you have your backup plans. You know, Xavier and Ruvit, you know, can you talk about like your recording process a little bit more? What was your plan? How did you attack this? Either of you can jump in, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Ruvit, go ahead,
Okay.
please.
Okay, so since I play classical music here in the university, I already have my classical video. But for the about the Bad Bunny video, I did it before, so I already had it as well. I really like that one because I learned how to. That video started because I took a music technology class and I learned how to use Logic and stuff. So I learned how to make beats by myself, and I really enjoy the process. So maybe if you have something previously recorded, you can use that. But for then I recorded a Por una Cabeza. It is an Argentina tango, and I did it with a friend, and he plays cello, so I talked with him, and I think he's actually going to apply this year. But he helped me with like the bass line, and I play violin, so I did the melody, but as I did a second voice too.
Ooh.
So yes, I think we rehearsed a couple of times before, and then we reserved a room here at the university. We had power that day. And I think we recorded like a couple of times. It went well. And the hard part was that I needed to record the second voice, the second violin voice. So then I had to follow myself in the other video. So that was kind of hard because, yes, you're used to play with another people, but it's kind of hard to play with yourself as well. So I think it took me like several cuts, and also the intonation, that it had to be really good between the two violins. So yes, don't leave it for the last minute, because I'm really picky sometimes, and I wanted to do a good job. And I remember my first year, I left it for the very last minute. And yeah, it was stressing. But yes, don't do that. I advise you that you take, now that you have a month, take advantage of that and start recording now. Yeah, but I really enjoy the process, and yes.
Cool. Xavier, how about you? What was your process like as a cuatro player?
Yes. I absolutely recommend all of you to rehearse and prepare yourself before I go to record the pieces, because if you not do that, you will waste a little bit of time during your recording session. I remember that I point out the dates, for example, to record that piece, the guitar, the bass, the percussion, and the cuatro. And it's very important talk with the musicians that will accompany you, because if you will do that with another musician, it's very important be familiarized with each other, and also will contribute to your video and your music. On the other hand, I remember when I was recording Sones y Flores, that was the fast song. I recorded in my home in my room, and I didn't know about producing and any of that stuff. And I recorded like more than 3 times, because the input was in automatic, and when I started to record, automatically the input was very up and it was peaking. And I sent to one of my teachers that was the mixer and the producer, and he told me it's perfect, but it was peaking, so it doesn't work to the video and the music. So be aware with the producing. I mean the for example the peaking and that stuff. And also I remember when I was recording my own composition, even was my own composition, but I think was the most harder and to record, and specifically in the digitation, in the fingering. And I recorded with a master of the Puerto Rican cuatro, Edwin Coron Sayas, in his studio. And he told me, look at me, use this digitation. And I learned also how to the phrasing in that occasion. So basically you will learn a lot, either in the producing, the performing, editing. Yeah, you will learn a lot in the process, and will help you also.
Yeah. Thank you, Xavier. Also, you can
And also, sorry,
Go ahead.
I want to share a advice that one of my teachers once told me, and it's very important to me, and every day I remember, and is work while others rest to dream what the other do not work. Be focused and have the discipline, the effort, the perseverance, and to achieve what do you want, no matter what, no matter the situation, and no matter the time. You have basically a month, and I recommend you to start right now with the recording, either the music and the video. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Xavier. That's great advice. As Xavier said, you can start today. You can go online today and just go in and look at the application and just press save. You can just go through it and then finish it at some other time, okay? So you know what you're gonna answer, you can start thinking about them. To apply for the scholarship, you have to have your admissions letter. Some people are asking in the chat, you have to be admitted. But what if you win and you're not admitted, then the scholarship is lost, you know? So don't worry if you don't have it. And now we have the same scholarships every year. The scholarship opens, okay? And it's the same deadline, April 10. Please remember April 10 before midnight EST, okay? Miami time.
And this has been an amazing session. I truly appreciate Clara, Ruvit, Luis, and Xavier for joining us. You're fantastic ambassadors for your
Yes,
institution,
they are.
and for the Latin Grammy Cultural Foundation. We really appreciate your insights. And Luis, obviously, once again, sir, you are a master presenter. And for those of you that might have joined, Luis, could you pull up once again, just and share your screen with that QR code? For those of you that might have joined the session later, Luis is going to share his screen. It's going to be a QR code. You're going to want to take a photo of this. It's going to give you access to a presentation that will give you some really, really detailed insights from Luis, and it mirrors everything that Clara, Ruvit, and Xavier have shared about how you might think about preparing yourself in your submission over the next month for the 2022 Latin Grammy Cultural Foundation scholarships. So grab that QR code, take a screenshot, or take a shot with your phone, a screen capture. You're going to want to grab this and take a look at it later tonight.
And sorry to interrupt, Jason. I know sometimes QR codes doesn't work. That happens to me. So give me a second and I'm going to put the link to download on the chat before we finish the presentation.
Brilliant. Yes. Thank you, sir. That is a great option as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we also put the email of the Latin Grammy Foundation. If you have any questions, it's LGCF, Latin Grammy Foundation, LGCF@grammy.com. Let me put it again.
And Christian, yes, you can use MIDI instruments. You can use real instruments. The main thing is it's got to showcase your performance ability or your vocal ability.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, you should obviously be following the Latin Grammy Cultural Foundation on social media. And
Yes.
As I mentioned earlier in the chat, you can follow us on social media as well at Berklee Espanol and at Berklee Global. And what we'll be doing, our team will be getting this video edited and posted online so that you can go back and take a look through the session and get all this wonderful information from our guests. So thank you for your time, Nannette. It's always a pleasure.
No, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Yeah.
And please feel free to email us if you have any questions, and good luck to all the future applicants.
Yep. Click that link right there that Luis just dropped in with the presentation. We'll give you a couple of minutes a minute or so here to do that. And we wish you all the very best of luck with the competition, and also just go for it. As Luis said, just don't stop, continue being creative, keep playing your music, keep writing and producing your music. The world needs it.
Yeah.
The world needs it, more than ever these days. So
Thank you, Clara, Luis, Ruvit, Xavier, for joining us and for all your advice.
cool. Excellent, everybody. Wishing you all the best. Stay healthy, stay creative, and we hope to see you soon somewhere in the world. All
Good
right.
luck.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Gracias. Chao.
Thank you. Gracias. Cuídense.
Gracias,
Bye.
hasta luego. Gracias, Luis.